Black people across the world aren't just taking trips. They're packing their bags for good. Passports in hand and peace of mind as the priority, many are fleeing countries where life has become unlivable. Why? When systemic racism, unsafe environments, deep-rooted inequality, and blocked opportunities come together, the message becomes clear: it's time to go. This isn't about wanderlust. It's about self-preservation, dignity, and refusing to settle for second-class citizenship. While some countries promote a welcoming image, the everyday experience for Black residents paints a very different picture. Racial profiling, lack of representation, and minimal access to economic or social support make life unbearable, and millions are responding by leaving. So which countries are Black people walking away from in droves? The answers might surprise you. Stay with us until the end. You won't want to miss the full list. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Expedition Explorers, and turn on notifications for more eye-opening content. Let's jump in. Number 10. France. France is known for its values, liberté, égalité, fraternité, but for many Black residents, these are just empty words. Daily life often includes constant police checks, stares in high-end stores, and being treated like suspects rather than citizens. The statistics speak volumes. Black people in France are up to 20 times more likely to be stopped by police than white individuals. That's not law enforcement, it's racial profiling. Add decades of housing discrimination, job market exclusion, and being pushed into neglected suburbs, and it becomes clear why so many are saying, au revoir. Black cultural contributions are erased. Representation in politics and media is minimal, and schools sanitize colonial history beyond recognition. In response, young Black professionals and families are relocating to Portugal, Germany, the Netherlands, or even returning to Africa, where they feel they can truly exhale. Number 9. Brazil. Brazil may celebrate Afro-Brazilian culture, but it's a celebration that often feels hollow. With over 56% of the population identifying as Black or mixed race, the country has the largest Black population outside Africa. Yet Black Brazilians account for over 75% of homicide victims. In the workforce, they earn around 40% less than white Brazilians, are underrepresented in leadership, and overrepresented in prisons. Police brutality is rampant. Despite being at the heart of Brazilian culture, Black people face widespread inequality and violence. The result? A steady outflow to countries that offer safety, respect, and real opportunity. Number 8. Algeria. In Algeria, Black migrants, especially from sub-Saharan Africa, are often treated like criminals from the moment they arrive. Instead of welcome, they're met with raids, abuse, and forced expulsions. Government crackdowns are aggressive. People are dragged from homes, loaded into trucks, and dumped at the border without due process. Algeria paints all sub-Saharan migrants with the same brush: threats, criminals, outsiders. And xenophobia is widespread. Black communities live in fear, lacking housing, jobs, and basic protections. Under these conditions, leaving is a matter of survival, not choice. Number 7. Libya. Libya remains one of the most dangerous places on earth for Black migrants, not just because of lawlessness, but because slavery still exists there. Yes, in 2025. Human trafficking, torture, and actual slave auctions are part of the landscape. After Gaddafi's fall, the country collapsed into chaos. Black migrants are often captured, sold for as little as $400, or thrown into detention camps where abuse is routine. Even worse, some Western governments fund these practices to prevent migrants from reaching Europe. For those who manage to escape, Libya becomes a dark memory they never revisit. Number 6. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia may promise economic opportunity, but for many Black Africans, it delivers exploitation and systemic abuse. The kafala system binds workers to employers, preventing them from changing jobs or leaving the country without permission, making modern slavery a lived reality. African domestic workers, especially women, face long hours, withheld pay, physical abuse, and no legal protection. Complaining often leads to detention or deportation. Racism is deeply entrenched, from verbal abuse to being treated as less than human. For many, the true opportunity lies in leaving and never looking back. Number 5. Turkey. Turkey may position itself as a global bridge between East and West, but for black residents and migrants, it often feels like a dead end. Racial profiling is common, especially in cities like Istanbul. African men are followed in stores, pulled over without reason, and treated with constant suspicion. African women in domestic jobs face severe exploitation and abuse, often with zero accountability. While Turkish society enjoys black culture, it often excludes black people socially and professionally. Many migrants have decided it's simply not worth it, and have left in search of safer, more inclusive countries. Number 4. Ukraine. War zones are terrifying, no question. But what if the scariest part isn't the bombs? It's how people treat you while you're trying to escape. That was the harsh reality for thousands of black people, mostly African students, stranded in Ukraine when Russia invaded in 2022. Let's not sugarcoat it. Black students were physically pushed off evacuation trains, left waiting at border checkpoints, and told to wait their turn, while white Ukrainians were swiftly ushered to safety. It wasn't just chaos, it felt like a deadly version of a VIP line. Only this wasn't about club entry. This was life or death. And the truth? This wasn't a one-off situation. Racism in Ukraine didn't start with the war just put a spotlight on it. Long before the sirens started blaring, black immigrants were already dealing with housing discrimination, limited access to resources, and daily reminders that they didn't belong. Number 3. Russia. Let's be real. Russia is one of the most hostile environments for black people in the world today. And we're not talking about awkward stares or uncomfortable silence. We're talking about real danger. In some places, you dodge potholes. In Russia, black immigrants are dodging actual hate crimes. Physical assaults, racial slurs shouted in public, and attacks by far-right extremists and neo-Nazi groups aren't just occasional, they're shockingly common. And the worst part? There's virtually no protection. Police are often indifferent, and sometimes even complicit. Racially motivated attacks are swept under the rug like they're just another routine case. Justice? That's a luxury. Here's a question. How long could you live in a place where stepping outside feels like walking through a minefield of hatred and ignorance? For many, the answer is clear. They're leaving, and they're telling others not to go. Number 2. India. Here's the ironic part. In a country of 1.4 billion people, somehow being black still makes you a target. In India, racism doesn't hide. It walks openly through crowded streets, shouting slurs, snapping photos, and treating black people like aliens, not guests. Ask any African student or expat, and they'll tell you, the moment they arrive, they're either objectified like a novelty or treated like criminals. It's common to be harassed in public markets, denied service in restaurants, followed by mall security, or stared at like a zoo exhibit. But it's not just discomfort, it's danger. Black people in India are regularly stereotyped as drug dealers or scammers. No evidence needed, just skin tone. Number 1. China. And finally, number 1, China. There's no competition here. China takes the top spot, and not by a small margin. Because while the country opens its arms to investors and global business, black residents are often treated like intruders. Let's rewind to 2020. When COVID-19 broke out, China didn't just lock down cities, it exposed deep racial double standards. In Guangzhou, home to one of the largest African communities in Asia, black people were evicted from their homes, denied hotel access, banned from restaurants, and left to sleep on the streets. Why? Not because they were infected, but because someone arbitrarily decided that black equals danger. The message was brutal and clear. You're not welcome here. This wasn't a system glitch, it was the system. Even before the pandemic, black people in China faced discrimination daily. Job ads openly said, "No black applicants." African students were monitored by police. Public harassment was common. Life as a black person in China means constantly living on edge, one stare, one policy, one accusation away from everything falling apart. And here's the kicker. While Chinese companies build roads and hospitals across Africa, many African residents in China can't even rent an apartment without facing prejudice. The hypocrisy is staggering. So, which country on this list shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. From discrimination to danger, from silent suffering to bold escapes, this video wasn't made to throw shade, but to shine a light on hard truths. Because choosing peace, respect, and safety should never be controversial. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Expedition Explorers for more powerful, honest, and thought-provoking content. Until next time, travel smart, stay safe, and never settle for less than you deserve.